Hi everybody, it's Kevin. Welcome to Relationship Ready. Today, we're going to talk about power, control, men's work, and support. So, men's work, there's a lot of terms going out all over the place that have been historically there, as well as current and buzzwords. One of those is toxic masculinity, misogyny. So, define those a little bit and then talk about men's work and power and control in that. Because men's work is about being in charge of yourself and taking care of yourself. Because the better men you can be in a relationship, the better you can be for yourself and with your partner, with your friends, with your sports, and with your family. So toxic masculinity, the thing that makes masculinity toxic is not being a man. It's not being masculine. It's being able to assert your power over somebody else. Because if you are a strong enough man and strong enough in your own ego and in yourself, then you don't have to assert yourself. You just have the power. And misogyny is putting that power on someone else. Taking your entitled privilege as a man and going, because I have the power, I'm in charge of you. I'm taking charge of you. I'm asserting myself over you. Now, asserting yourself over you is aggression. That's not assertion. Assertion is speaking up for yourself. And the ways in which we do that individually, with punching down, putting people down, putting other cultures down, other races down, other genders down, as well as trying to take over countries. Because true power that's not toxic masculinity, that's not misogyny, is being able to be in charge of yourself. And the examples I'm going to give you here, hopefully you'll think of. If you go back to middle school, high school, where we start to develop our relationships, think of a guy in your high school, in your middle school, that nobody messed with. Why did nobody mess with them? Because they were like, they could kick somebody's ass, or they're a decent enough person. That, why would you mess with them? Now, think about the person you know from that age range in that era that would have to fight, argue, verbal, physical, fight. And sometimes they could be cool or on top too. But the difference in those two men, young men, developing men, is one, the first one, doesn't have to be aggressive and doesn't have to take power over others because they have power and control over themselves. Nobody's going to mess with them. So they have people who come up and want to be like them, want to submit to them, want to ask for things from them. And they might ask them to be in charge. Also, those are the leaders. Those are the alphas. Those are the ones who are not asserting their power aggressively over other people. The ones who are fighting, that's asserting your power aggressively. That's trying to take charge of somebody else. That's trying to take somebody down instead of building them up. The non-toxic man, the man with power and control, is the one who nobody messes with. Because why would you? They're just taking care of themselves and supporting others. They're not being aggressive. They're not being toxic. They're not being misogynist. They're just being themselves and happy with themselves because they have an ego because they've taken care of themselves. This carries over in some ways with other genders, trans, females, non-binary, all in between, because there's an ego strength that it comes from. Because if you have enough ego strength, you don't have to assert yourself over others. You have to assert yourself to speak up for yourself, to be a part, to be included, to be heard. But it's not a thing over others. It's not a power and control thing to control others. You have power in yourself. So the essential part about true men, masculine, as well as true ego strength in all other genders, is being able to take charge of your own power, of who you are. And then you can support, because support is being able to give what others need and want and ask for. Not to tell them what they need to do, make them do things, assert yourself over them, but to be there available when they need you, to build them up and shine and bring that out of love and bring that out of your own sense of power of who I am and what I need to be. So think about that, go out in the world and think about how much you trying to assert your power over others, and how much do you have power over your own self, your own choices, your own relationships, your own emotions, your own self. So think about that, see how that affects your life. Let me know in the comments if you're changing anything, and we'll talk more next time. I'm Kevin. Thanks for sticking with me with Relationship Ready.